Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Trading with Guillermo. Here's a picture of myself and my wife. I am a banker by trade, been in banking for over 20 years, married, have 3 foster kids, and hopefully next year we'll be adopting them. So as a banker, I've always looked for other opportunities to earn income outside of banking. So about 6 months ago, I started in the day trading uh, for myself. Kind of learned it on my own. Tried different software tools to do it, and learned a lot over those 6 months or so. So the purpose of this channel is to kind of walk you through my experience, hopefully teach you some of the techniques that I use. These techniques are to be for educational purposes only. So just wanted to make that clear. And I look forward to sharing quite a bit of information. One thing I do want to say is that I've been lucky enough that I found a software tool that allows me to trade. It allows me to enter the market, exit the market, and be profitable. With these tools and other training techniques that I learned, I was able to get funded. So here you see the my certificate of funding. I was actually funded with $50,000. So I personally didn't have $50,000. So I went through an actual evaluation process using the techniques that I'm going to show you. And that's one way to do it. You know, if you don't have $50,000 in your account, this is one way to do it. But if you are already an experienced trader, you have the funds to do it. The things that I'm going to teach you could also be very beneficial to you. So with that, I'm going to switch over to my screen and start the trading so you can see what my typical morning looks like. I normally trade for about maybe 30-40 minutes a day. That's about 20 trading days a month, assuming there's no holidays. It could be less than that. And my goal is to do about $500 to maybe $1,000 a day. So that's keeping it pretty small and reasonable. But, you can do your math yourself. 500 times 20, that's 10,000. And if you did 1,000 times 20, that's 20,000. So you can see the potential there. And if you want to do less than that daily, you can do the math for yourself. So with that, I'm going to switch over to my other screen. Before I switch over to NinjaTrader 8, I do want to ask you to please like, subscribe, and click the little bell to be notified. I would love to have you as a subscriber. With that, let's go to some live trading. Good morning, everybody. So it is 6:21 a.m. Pacific time, which is 9:21 Eastern. Market opens at 9:30 Eastern. So I have NinjaTrader 8 queued up. I have a chart open for NQ, which is the NASDAQ. And I have my automation open. So what do I do before market open? I'd like to see what's been going on. So I'll kind of scroll across so you can kind of see what I do here. So here at the top here, I'm going to put a horizontal line here. That is approximately where the market closed yesterday. So 16, what is that, 310, somewhere in there. But as you can see, over the overnight trading hours, it went above it, and it is now below it. So I would anticipate that this morning at market open, I would anticipate that it's going to maybe continue down. It'll continue the trend and then make a jump back up to where it was yesterday. So that's what I anticipate. So I may try to take some short-term profits if it continues to go down, or I'll catch it on the way up. So we'll see where it goes. The first couple minutes can be kind of hectic. So I tend to just kind of wait for a pattern to establish, and then I turn on my automation. So I'm going to go ahead and move my chart to where I like to keep it. It's a little easier for me to see. more like that. This is how I like to trade. Um, right now my automation is completely off, so I am not going to turn it on yet. I'm going to wait. Oops, I'm sorry. That's what happens when you do this. Sometimes this is really sensitive with my mouse, so sorry about that. There we go. There. So we got about 7 minutes. Market opens. So, oh gosh, so I got to talk for 7 minutes. So, like I said, it's hard to know what's going to happen, right? You can expect the unexpected here. The market will do what it wants to do. You can't control it. So all you can do is allow the software, use your knowledge to, and your background, your history, that your trading history, to kind of know what may happen, and go from there. One thing I do like to mention, it's as far as the automation you see here. So this purple color that you see means it's a downward trend. If we see this gray, it means it's an upward trend. So right now you're seeing a lot of purple, so indicating a downward trend. But you don't get fooled by that, because it can start turning around. And as you can see, it's starting to go back up. So we may be able to jump in and do that as well. I'm gonna, I think we may be looking at an upward trend. So let's see. We have about 6 more minutes to go. So with the way I like to trade is I like to have the automation pretty much enter for me. Sometimes I let it exit the trade for me. However, I do have the option for the flat button here, which closes me out of my trade. This is software, right? So sometimes it doesn't exit you correctly, or NinjaTrader 8 sometimes gets hung up and you have to exit the trade. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. I did a complete reboot of the software, so it should run pretty smoothly this morning. Second, I don't run this on my PC. I actually have the software, the automation, and NinjaTrader 8 on a virtual private server. So what does that mean? The software is literally on a server in Chicago. So and I connect to it through a VPN. So it allows me to use any computer. I can use my tablet, like my iPad Pro that I have, and I can trade with that. Oh yeah, look at the screen. We're starting to see that upward trend. So we may be able to jump in here at market open. We might see a slight dip. If we see that, I'm gonna turn on automation and let it go. But anyway, so I have a virtual private server, so I can do my trades from anywhere. So if I'm not at home, if I'm traveling, I can use my tablet. If I'm on a pinch, I can actually use my iPhone and access it as well. So it's convenient. I don't have to be tied down to my home computer or my laptop. And my tablet has cellular on it, so literally I could trade from anywhere in the world. So let's see where it goes. We got 3 minutes. You see a little bit going down, so we might be able to jump in here pretty soon. So we might be, if we get lucky here, we might be able to be done with our trade. I mean, this could be real quick. This video might not be very long. At least this piece of it might not be very long. So let's see, 3 more minutes. So things are going to get real interesting here in a couple minutes, because it does get kind of wild till it starts to settle. But so far, I mean, we see that it went up some, it's coming back down a little bit. So far it would appear that it's a continuation trade. However, market tends to go. So you can kind of see it wanting to go back up. If I were to turn on the automation right now, it would have come on right now. It would enter this trade right here. But you never know what it's going to do. that could have been a good trade to be in potentially, but it could also very quickly reverse on us because it's, so far we see in that downward trend. So I'm not too anxious to jump in it yet. Market hasn't opened, and like I said, it can reverse on you real quick. So don't get complacent. Just keep an eye on it. Wait for the trend to establish, and then you go for it. So what we're getting closer here, 2 minutes, and we'll go from there. While I kill 2 minutes here, I'll talk about my experience. So 6 months ago, I didn't know this was even possible. I thought this was for institutional traders in New York or Chicago that got to do this, right? Never thought somebody like me, just a regular guy, could even participate in the market. But I learned that you can, right? I thought about getting funded, so I didn't have $50,000, but I learned some skills, got some software, I got funded, so I can actually trade with an account. Second, I have 3 contracts loaded up right now. So 3 for NASDAQ. You can do 2, and I'll show you what that means here in a second. And that would be the minimum. I think if you have an account that you can't do 2 to 3 contracts, then I would suggest you go through a mini NQs or mini other instruments that you can, because you can trade smaller contracts. So that would be the solution. However, if you can, you get a funded account or you have the resources, then you would want to do, I would say, 3 contracts, which is what I do. Okay, so market just opened. As you can see, it's starting to go a little bit sideways. So it's trying to figure out which way to go. So right now we just kind of stay out of it, kind of let it do its thing. Right now it's pretty much going sideways. And yeah, we'll just let it establish a trend. So far, it's continuing that downward trend. So we're gonna wait. It should. I'll put it on 3, and then just wait for the automation to turn on here in a minute. Okay, so it should start going down right here, and we should be able to enter a trade. There it goes. So like I said, it's very volatile at this time. So I have my hand on the button. Okay, so we just made 350 real quick. I'm gonna leave it on because I think it's gonna come back down again. So we'll see. It should continue down, but like I said, you don't know. So let's see what happens. Oh, it didn't engage. So I'm gonna turn it off, turn it on. I would have thought we would have entered. Now I could manually enter this trade if I wanted to right now, but I don't want to do that because see, it would have turned on me, and who knows where it would have landed. So sometimes I will do that. Like right there, I probably would have, because it's got a huge trend. But that's okay, because it's gonna start going up here in a second. Because it will only go for so long, and then it's gonna turn around. So you don't want to get lured into a manual trade and then have it turn right on you. So you're tempted to go, oh man, I could have been in this. I could have been making all this money. But you didn't know this was coming. Nobody knows this is coming. So this is hindsight. So don't get upset about it that you didn't make any money in this particular part of the trade. But we'll enter here. There it goes. So here we go. Come on. Oh, so first, you'll see here, this is our stop loss at the top. And then this first blue line here is our first profit target. And then the third one is our runner. So right now, we want to get down to that first profit target, because once we get there, it will basically bank our money. And we're really close, but I may just hit flat. um, if it starts turning on me. So now we're down to 20. But as soon as this bar hits the bottom here, we'll get all of that back. Watch. And we're just gonna let it do its thing. So still wanting to push to the bottom. It's almost there, and there it is. You see it? So we made that first profit target. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit. I'm gonna turn it off right here, and just gonna explain. So right now, it looks like it's in a downward trend, but it doesn't last long. So I wouldn't not go manually and go, see, now it's going up. So this is where I would have just stopped, and I did, because you just kind of learn to say, hey, this may work, but it could turn on you real quick. So I think that's where it's going to start going. It's on a downward trend again. So, but the market's been really high. So I just don't trust it that it's going to keep going down. The market's been trading way, way above this. So I anticipate that any minute now, it's going to start this huge push to the upside. When we start seeing that, I think we could go for it then. So right now, I'm just going to let it be. And the P&L, sometimes it readjusts at the bottom. So this isn't always accurate. I wouldn't get too hung up on that. But just know that automation took the first trade up here, made money. We took a trade up here, even though it kind of reversed on us a little bit. You saw that we initially had lots of money, and then we got it all back, and then some. So just as I suspected, it's going back up. So I think we'll see if it does a little dip. It does here. And then, so now it's turned gray. So that means it's up in an upward trend right now. So I'm going to wait for it to dip. Then I'll turn on my automation. So right now I'm kind of staying out of it for a little bit. And the cool thing, we've been in it for what, 5 minutes when market opened, and we have made our first almost $500 already. So if that's your goal, you would have been done. You would just hit off, shut it down, and you would have been done. Okay, so I'm going to turn the automation on here, right? Let's see if it's going to come back up. Yeah, see if it pushes to the top side here, right here. Like I said, this is live. I'm not editing anything. So whatever happens is going to happen. So this is going to be totally really unedited when it's posted. So, okay. So it's thinking of going up. So I think we're about to enter a trade, and here it goes. So I have my hand on the flat button, just in case I want to take my profit. We hit the first profit target, and now we want to see if we can hit that runner up here. So we're on track, and boom, we hit it. So now we just let it go. I can take profit early right here, or I can let it go. So I'm gonna let it keep going. Keep going. Like I said, we're done. We're done for the day. We've made our profit. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna let it go. And I have my hand on the flat button. I don't want to give up some of my profit here. See if we can get that $1,000 today. Yeah, we're in it. This is crazy, right? Okay, so I'm gonna, let's see if it's this. Okay, I think it's done. Anyway, I went ahead and took my profit right there because it's about to turn. So I'm gonna turn automation off because I don't want to take another trade by accident. And so yeah, that's about $940 right there. I think it's a little bit more than that. Sometimes that P&L doesn't quite track correctly, but really the point I want to make is that we just hit 1-2 smaller trades, and we got our big trade. And we'll just let not the automation, but we'll just kind of watch, see what happens. So this should go up, and if it does, the automation would have entered this trade right here. However, let's see if it keeps going up though, because it might reverse on us. So let's see. So we would have been in the trade. it would keep going up. So we would have already been making some money. Actually, if we had let the automation go, it would have started reversing here. We would have gotten out. So that would have been another winner. And then you would just wait and see what happens. Let's see. So right here, maybe. No, it's continuing downward trend right now. So right here, it's changed direction. So you can see it went from this gray to this purple. So that means it's seeing a downward trend. So we might, if we turn the automation on right now, if the candle goes white, we probably could get on another trade on a downward trend and make money that way. But like I said, I'm out of the market right now. I made my profit target for the day. I would have been done. The cool thing about the software that I use is I could jump in this trade right now manually. I could go, oops, I went too far. So I can hit manual, turn on the bot, and then boom, hit short and go for it. But obviously I don't want to do that because it's about to change here. But if I had it on auto, right here, it's going to go down. And then boom, I would have been in this trade right here. And I would have made a ton of money. And then I would have exited the trade right here, taken my profit. And then if I wanted to, I could just let it go again because I think it's going to go down again. So let's see what it does. Yeah, see, it doesn't have the steam to keep going up. So we'd be in this trade right now. It would have, yeah, it's still going down. It's kind of hesitant. It's kind of doesn't know which way to go, but it's still going down. So let's see if this would have been a good trade or not. So we still would have been in the trade because our stop loss would have been up here. But this might have been a loser trade. Yeah. So that one reversed. So that's why you got to be careful when you're trading, is that if you see a nice strong trend, stay in it. This one, as you saw, was kind of fluttering, kind of like it's doing now. It's this up, down, up, down, up, down. When it's doing that, I don't touch it because I think it's the market's trying to figure out where it's gonna go. So I tend to stay out of those trades. But one thing you do have to do is you have to practice discipline. Okay, I could have been tempted to jump in here and make some money, and maybe I could have taken this trade down here at the bottom, and I would have lost some of that. Sometimes you get caught in that cycle, and you can lose money. So don't get lured into that false sense of security. Okay, so let's see. So it's got an upward trend again. We see the purple going down. I would have turned on the bot here and see if it would have gone up. Let's see, it's going up there. It would have entered this trade. So we would have been in here. But you can see it's kind of hard to say where it's going to go. So don't get, like I said, don't get lured into making additional trades if you don't have to. The software is pretty smart. It knows a lot. It knows trends, and it's got all the statistics behind it. But the market does what it wants to do. So don't get lured. So here, if I was in this trade, I would consider just getting out right here while it's still in the profit range. I would just get out. This is a little too risky for my taste, but it just depends on your tolerance level, right? And it's still in this downward trend. So yeah, anyway, so that would have been a short little profit there. That wouldn't have been too bad. But now you see the downward trend. So if we go back to the chart, you can see that it had gone up. This is where we made our money. 2 on the downside, 1 nice one on the uptrend. But you see the market has gone down. It went up and it's calmed down. So far, it appears that the market is continuing in a downward trend. So you could potentially enter another trade going down, but I think it's going to get to a point where it's going to go the lowest it's going to go, and the rest is just going to be upside with some dips along the way. So if we had entered this trade, we would be in it right now. And again, we would have made some pretty good money right here. The automation would have put us in this trade. Again, I would be ready to hit flat and take my profit once I see a change in direction. Yeah, see, this would have been nice. That we would have made some good money right there. Seeing it's gonna change here, and then very likely. But I just let it wait, and then boom, I would hit flat, and I'm done. And it looks like it's about to enter another trade here if we would have let the automation go. But anyway, I'm not gonna do that because this is my account. I don't want to blow it up by taking a huge loss or anything like that. So I just learned from it. I watched the charts and figure out what the bot would have done in this case. So right here, if I had left it on, it would enter a trade right there. Now, see, it would have turned on me. So that isn't always the smartest thing. So that's what I always say. Be disciplined. Take your profit when you can. If you have a maximum loss target to say, hey, I'm not going to lose more than 500 a day. If you lose 500, then you stop. The idea is to be in it for the long term. You're not in it to be chasing trades. You're in it for the long term. So if you make your profit target, you're done. If you lost and you met your loss maximum, then you stop as well and be done. Again, with the automation, if I turn it on right here, it may go back up here. Let's see. See if it turns right here. So far, no. No, I think it's still in a downward trend. So I think it's going to turn. So I think the color is going to change here any second now, indicating a downward trend again. So saying it just did. So I think if I were to turn on the bot, I would wait till it turns white, which it may turn white here in a minute. The candle showing an upward direction. I would wait for it. Or you could manually enter the trade. I mean, this software will let you jump in there wherever you want, but that's a little riskier because you don't know if you're already at the bottom of this trend and it's going to reverse on you. So again, don't get greedy. Don't think, oh man, I'm going to jump in here right now, and then boom, it turns on you. Then you lost. See? So what I would do is wait for it. This candle's going to turn white. Boom, my bot's on. Wait for it. It should. Let's see what it does. It should go down. The way the trend is going, it should go down. But we'll see. Right here. So let's see. Just thinking about it. It came down this far, came up. I don't think it's an upward trend yet. I think it's still on its way down. So right here, let's see. No, it still wants to push back up a little bit. Again, don't get tricked that it's an upward trend. Right now, we're still in that downward trend. So let's see. Purple bar or magenta, I guess, is the color the software uses. This could be any color, by the way. NinjaTrader 8 lets you change the different looks of your candlesticks, and you can make it look however you like. So here, I think it would have starting to turn. Let's see. It's still pushing to the upside. So maybe this is the bottom. Who knows? You know, we could put a line here and use that as kind of like our low. Let me go back out. So overall, you can see. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Since I'm out of the market now, I don't wanna risk losing, because this is a nice little profit there that we just made today. But you can see the trend. I mean, you can see how high it was, and the trend has been down, 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 down. And it looks like, let's see, let's get back up here. And sometimes my mouse is a little too sensitive, so it doesn't. There we go. Come on. There. And I need a mouse pad. So anyway, you can see the trend. I think. So had we actually turned on the automation, we would have been in this trade already, right here. We would be in here. We would have already been here. We could have exited the trade, or it would have stopped out for us. So that would have happened. So we could have made a little money right here. Right now, I probably wouldn't take a trade, just because it looks like maybe it may start going sideways here. We'll see what it does. You don't want to get caught into this where you'll start doing this up and down, up and down, up and down. You can make money, but it's a little riskier because you never know if it's gonna continue. I like to see big trends, big downward trends, upward, down, up, down. That's what I like to see. So we may be in a channel right now, and you can see the numbers don't match up. Gray means up, but it's going down. Here it's gonna go up. You would have entered this trade, but then it might flip on you. But just like I said, you never know. This one actually would have been profitable, but you never know. It could go up one and keep going down, and it goes totally the opposite direction. So anyway, that's really it for this morning. I started at a little bit before market open. I think we were done in 5 minutes, made roughly about $1,000. So that's how quickly it is. The rest of the time really that I spent is kind of showing you kind of how the automation would have worked, what trades we would have been in. But just from what I showed you, I think we would have been in 1 loser and probably 5 winners. So when you do the math, the percentages, that's where you want to be in, right? You want to be high percentage, lower risk trades with the idea that, hey, you're going to have a loser here and there, but there should be few and far between. So anyway, this is my first video. I appreciate you watching, and again, like this video, subscribe, click the little bell so you can be notified. I plan to be doing these daily, and I'm also going to cover other topics like virtual private servers. I'm going to talk about the getting funded process for an evaluation account, kind of how that works. I'll share a website that I use where I got funded and talk about their service, and then we'll jump into some live trades and watch the automation. So that's going to kind of be the thing. We'll have different topics each time, or at least that's the hope, and talk about just kind of everything that I do and share it with you. So I'm excited for that. So again, be on the lookout for the next video, and see you next time. Take care. Bye.